Luke points out, and I think very intentionally, that whether Emmaus was their destination or not, that's where the road went. How many times can you look back at your life and really remember a time when something happened to you that you were convinced was the worst thing that could ever happen? The worst thing that could befall you, and with some years' distance, look back on it and realize that there was a gift in that experience for you. That there was meaning and purpose to it all along. Often in the trauma of the moment, we focus on a moment. We lose all perspective of time and space. And we think of where we are right here, right now, and then we project the amplification of that into the future. Oh, this is bad now and it's only going to get worse. Oh, this is bad and the end of the road is even darker still. I've told you guys before, the space between my ears is a bad neighborhood. Don't go in there by yourself. Left to our own devices, confronting a world that we don't understand. Left to our own devices, holding a child whose parent has deeply wounded them. Living in a world where the voices of anger and rage get more publicity than the gentle whisper of love and nurture. Living in a world where competition is honored above cooperation. Living in a world where war is glorified. Where dominance and domination mean the same thing. Living in a world that to our eyes and ears can sound traumatizing, terrifying, brutal, harsh, and flat out inconceivable. Can we confront that? Can we experience those moments and in our heart of hearts take our own walk to Emmaus? In those moments when our mind tells us that the world is bleak and harsh and scary, and we have a dialogue with that within us that knows. Do we recognize that stranger at the center of our being that is our immortal and eternal self? Can we commune with that spirit of truth that leads to all knowledge? That's in the silence at the core of who we are. Can we dialogue with that and ask it to explain what it is we need to know? Can we dialogue with that and ask it to show us what we need to do? What's the next right step? The bigger question, do we really know that we're on the road to Emmaus? Is that our intended destination? Do we really know that this path that we're walking leads to the place of rest, of peace, of comfort, of restoration. There is no place to go. We have always been and always will be at the very center of the love that created us. It is impossible to be outside of it. The only thing that can be outside of it is the vain imaginings of my own mind. Emmaus is that place of healing where I become aware of those vain imaginings and I let them go. Those vain imaginings that make you different, separate, and apart from me. Those vain imaginings that make one person more holy or more sacred than another. Those vain imaginings that puts the holy and the sacred out there somewhere, but not here. Those vain imaginings that believe that suffering and pain are the final word in reality. Those vain imaginings that whatever suffering I may be witnessing or experiencing is the all-consuming truth of me. The spiritual path is really encapsulated in the walk to Emmaus. The walk to Emmaus is the spiritual path. It is the step-by-step confronting the demons within ourselves and the reflections of the things in the world that we find harsh and cruel and painful. The walk to Emmaus is then owning responsibility for that and doing something about it. Ultimately, I believe that all the experiences over this 90-day span that represents Lent and Easter and Eastertide up to Pentecost is all about the awakening of that transcendence within us, the awakening of our mind to the reality of who and what we are. That we are intended and on purpose, that we are loved from the soles of our feet to the top of our head, that we are the very